How old are they supposed to be? 10 or 11? Good. Kill yourself, game journalist. You see an Asian woman with short hair, and the first thing you think of is... Oh, no. I can't. Listening to... I'm sorry. Fuck. Lives in Canada, is kind of like on the... Like...
As well as sustainable fishing.
Under a law?
And that's what this is about. And I think, Mr. President, you are the only president who has really stepped up in terms of supporting fishermen like you're doing. No other president we've seen, the administration that's helping.
Crazy. So it's amazing. And people don't know this, but you are from New Jersey, so we're from the same neck of the woods.
Okay. Maybe she's actually a fan, in which case, sure. Hassan is a soulless demon, though, but... He was asked watching really hard on these, and like... Video.
Anyone. They're responding to a situation.
If you ignore a court order... related to TROs in civil litigation, my guess is the most is it can be is just like contempt, right? You can only ever get charged. Can you get charged with like scaling contempt charges? Can they like triple contempt you? Is it only contempt? I guess maybe the judge could assess damages or something too, maybe? I'm not sure.
Did you see a judge is making a ruling on the UFC shit?
No, I haven't. Why are you being so cautious talking about the Charlie video? Did Ethan threaten you or something? No, I just don't want to get in the mix of... I don't like the litigation memes, obviously, being the victim now of vexatious litigation, and then seeing everybody fucking suing everybody. I just feel like it's a really bad money sink in the industry. I don't know why... yeah, I don't know. I just think, yeah. I don't understand it. Yeah, that's all I can say. I think that at some point, I think it's okay to kind of throw your weight around if people are like being super duper ultra out of line. But I feel like iDubbbz is a really bad target because the guy is
I'll push back a little here.
Yeah.
So I am of this opinion too-ish, but he did send iDubbbz a cease and desist, and apparently iDubbbz like made fun of it and then kept going.
Okay.
And
that was in Charlie's video, right?
Yeah. I believe that he talked about it.
Yeah, he did last night. So this would change my mind. My understanding was when iDubbbz got that cease and desist, I thought that iDubbbz, I thought he did apologize. But Charlie said in the video that after iDubbbz got the cease and desist, he kind of like danced in front of it or whatever.
Does anybody... At some point he later apologized. I don't know the timeline exactly.
Ooh, okay, that's...
Because
I remember when I saw iDubbbz do an apology, the first thing in my mind I thought of was, oh, he must have got a cease and desist. Absolutely.
100%. That's what I thought too. Yeah.
So that's what I thought. So those were linked in my mind. But people are saying that after he got the cease and desist, he was still like memeing around about it. So.
Yeah, if you still meme around after you get a cease and desist, you get whatever's fucking coming for you, man.
Yeah, because in that case, it's.
That is like Ethan's like.
Does anybody know 100% like the timeline on that?
I could DM Ethan.
Destiny, I defended litigation as a recourse for harm done to someone. Morbler thanks. I don't know what that sentence is even supposed to mean, but okay. I do know that I don't even have to look at Morbler's logs to know that he's absolutely against us, though, so that's okay. Probably using the most retarded arguments in the world, like, why don't you sue everyone?
If you're on the same side as Morbler, you're on the wrong side.
The lawsuits are good because the slop community / snark needs to be chilled, even if it means legitimate content is chilled. I don't disagree with you, but I think you have to be, oh, fuck, there's a whole thing. This will be more well understood, I think, after I do my video.
Video?
After my court case is done.
Document.
You have to, like, lay out everything really well so people understand what's going on. My worry would be, and Ethan has the power to do this because he's a big enough content creator, and he's not maligned like I am. So I can still do it. It's just a lot harder for me to do it. But I think the worry is that from my perception, and I think I'm more in this than most people, from my perception, and I feel it must be the perception of the wider internet, iDubbbz is like kind of like a down on his luck, down and out, maybe perma cucked. I don't like the playing of the memes. Like he's like lives in Canada, is kind of like on the like walking away from life kind of thing. And then Ethan comes down with like the fucking hammer on this dude. And I just think that almost every single person on the planet is going to look at that. It's almost like the Israel thing. Everything today is Israel-Palestine. I think that everybody on the planet looked at Israel fighting, these wars against all the Arab states and like fucking base, Frogan, Casey Tron Denims, like fucking lay it down, go all in on all these people. Like they deserve it. You're getting attacked over and over again. But then by the time we get to, 2025 and it's like the second year into the war on Gaza, I think people are looking at it, it's like, okay, I don't know if there's like a noble fight anymore. Did Moist ever try to reach out to you? Like, no, nobody reaches out to me. I'm literally Voldemort.
Really?
I think this is a sorry that Penguin was talking about. No, I know that Ian did a sorry.
We've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that. My assumption when he did this, because after I saw this, that's when I was like, oh, I bet he got a cease and desist. I thought he did this right after he received it. But Charlie said in his video, and maybe Charlie leaked this, and nobody knew this publicly except for Ethan and Ian?
Because he talked to Ethan, yeah.
Yeah, and he talked to Ian, right?
Yes.
Charlie said that after Ian got the cease and desist, he was like memeing about it. And that's if that was the case, then that's really stupid. So,
yeah. Again, if he didn't ever send a cease and desist, or if he did and then he didn't desist, or he desisted immediately, I would be pretty, you probably shouldn't do this lawsuit. But if he kept memeing, that's a fuck around find out moment.
Yeah.
I have a different view of this.
We know.
Nothing even to do with illegal stuff.
Uh-huh.
I think you can acknowledge it. Imagine that Mr. Mutin betrayed you and like completely fucked your shit up. All right? So it's different than just like some fucking rando. But Mr. Mutin himself, imagine that he did everything. He started working with Hassan. He started becoming the head of all of the snark communities. Like he started making videos about you. Like he was the de facto new head of the anti-Destiny Brigade. He was like the J-Stock on steroids, if you will, right? And it's like you've known this motherfucker since he was a child, since he was a baby, and now he's trying to destroy your life. And I think there's a certain amount of, does it suck that Ethan is using his unlimited resources to go after iDubbbz? Yeah, we don't like that. That's not good. But also, you tried to iDubbbz tried to literally destroy Ethan. So I think the natural instinct is I'm kind of okay with the fact that Ethan wants to grind him into the fucking dirt until nothing is left. And no, I don't have to be like, oh, you're sorry, and you won't do it again. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to destroy you. You tried to fuck around.
Like, I could understand
now you're gonna
that.
find out. I'm sorry. Is this tactic not okay for you? Is it not okay? Is it not acceptable? I'm using my money. So sorry. Too
it's
bad.
not about that. It's
Fuck
that
you.
iDubbbz, I don't know. Does iDubbbz even have a fan base? Like how many people, like when
matter.
this
It's
guy
about-
streams, well, it does matter because everybody's going to look at Ethan in a horrible light because this is like one of the worst things that you could do as a YouTuber.
Yeah, but I don't think that. Someone mentioned this argument to me before, and I think at a certain point, you could probably look at the situation and just be like, I don't think it's going to move the needle, right? Like, I don't feel like Ethan Klein is at a point where like, oh, the entire internet fucking loves this guy, huge amounts of fans, right? Like he has his fan base. And they will remain his fan base moving forward. And sure, he could bleed some, or he might not bleed some. But in general, like no one really touches Ethan Klein like this because they're afraid of like Hassan and those people's audience. It's not like anything is going to change in my mind. I don't think there's this massive amount of.
Well, I disagree. I don't think
Ethan.
I don't think there's a massive, like the whole commentary community. I don't view them as all being hostile towards Ethan. I feel them as being neutral to friendly. No.
Maybe. I mean,
no,
I know,
definitely.
Like, people,
do you think that there are people that would have really bad things to say? I'm just so detached from the YouTube world. Outside of like the weirdo little snarko lefty cult from Hassan.
Well, like the only people I know that are like pro this are people who have been attacked by them. Like, so that would be like the Pegasus, Diorio, Willie Mack. I don't know, like, who are the massive, huge ones. Like, I would say that who's the one that rides Hassan? He's obviously going to be against it. Like, if you're asking me, like, what fucking Minecraft YouTubers are going to say, I don't even know if they're going to give
What
a fuck
about
in the
like
first
people that
place.
are like peripheral? Like, there's like, if Ethan were to reach out to like Linus Tech Tips to do like a collab, would they like do a collab, or would Linus be like, no, we
No.
hate you?
No, they would not do it because you are fucking like a lightning rod of, if we touch you, we're going to get even more insanity shit. Like, I don't think Ethan can get like collabs with most people because of how insane the harassment has been towards him. Like, that's already the case. Like, it's already Ethan versus the world, basically. So I think at this point, it's like, fuck it. If it's me versus the world, then yeah, I'm going to fucking destroy the people who are trying to destroy me. Like, they have no rules, right? When they're going after him, they'll do anything and everything that they can. Make up fucking screenshots, make up fucking stories.
Yeah, I don't know why you're bringing up the
people in on
behavior.
them.
I already agree with that. I'm just saying that
Yeah,
in terms of the
so-
size of the people, there's the size of the people, and then there's also like the legitimacy of the lawsuits. If we're reaching really hard on these and we start losing on some of these because it's too much of a stretch, I think that
Well,
also
Canada has crazy laws apparently.
Well, yeah, I think IDubbbz will just lose on this, right? Like, or he'll settle. I don't even know if he'll probably default, to be completely
Well,
honest.
maybe I don't even know what the.
find out.
I would have to look up the. I don't even know how they do it in Canada.
But I don't.
But like even in the United States, is Noah Samson is in the U.S., right?
He is. Yeah, but I don't.
Like
I don't.
the
I
Noah
can't
Samson lawsuit
comment.
is going to be that's like a
you
hard
th-
one.
Well, yeah, then he might lose it.
Yeah, but like if he starts like setting some of these up and then loses it, and it's pretty obvious that he's just doing like the litigation route for vexation. I don't know if I want to say vexatious. He might think he has a legitimate underlying claim, but he starts losing them, and he's like, we know that he's doing it because he just wants to like kind of grind down some of these people, and the people are just all like significantly smaller and not that effective. I don't know.
I think that it. I don't know. I think it's a relatively acceptable thing that he's doing to some of these people that are like dedicating their life to. I've said this before. So Noah Samson's video was titled "The YouTubers That Support Genocide," I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
That's a crime, right? To support a genocide is a de facto crime. Like, and that's one of the only things that you can say that makes it into defamation, where you can.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, this is like so obviously a political opinion perspective thing.
Well,
right?
then he'll lose in court.
Sure.
I think I'll put it this way: like the people that, wait a minute. Here's a better thing. I think the people that have dedicated themselves to fucking over Ethan Klein completely and absolutely should not. Those people are probably going to get. Some of them will get fucked by Ethan Klein. Would be my logic towards that, and I don't think that other people are going to look at this and be like, "Man, Ethan just fucking hates all commentary. He's going to come after anyone that does it." He's obviously going after people that have tried to ruin his life. I don't think that nuance is really lost on most people. Like, it's pretty fucking obvious what he's doing. He's destroying his fucking enemies.
Sure. I
Like,
think like
that-
if he would have dropped all of these at the same time, I think I would have been supportive. But I feel like he made his point largely when he did the 3 on Casey, Tron, Frogan, and Denims. I feel like when he dropped those 3, that was like everybody understood that shit was getting a lot more serious now, and it brought a lot of attention to it. And then there, people could draw battle lines pretty easily. Like, do you support Ethan, or do you think that like people should be allowed to infinitely harass and stalk and abuse somebody if they don't like them enough? But then like the
What
two,
do you think?
no, I think the initial 3 were fine. I fucking nuke them.
I
But
don't know. Well, do you think? Well, use this towards JStock
Fucking
as
nuke
an
'em.
example. You
I
that
don't think
he
it's
should just-
I don't think it's comparable because I ran in the same circles as all of these people, and these people are able to nuke every single connection that I have. So like,
You're saying IDubbbz didn't run in the same circle as Ethan Klein?
I think that by the time IDubbbz and Ethan were feuding, I think IDubbbz like influence on the internet was like 1/1000th of what it was before. Like if Gisticle
He may
to
be
me was
less-
like a 20 viewer
less
streamer,
impactful,
then I
sure.
might not even. This might be a whole other story. I might not even give a fuck if there was nobody that was siding with him or anything else. But like it's the fact that these people can have a like. Has Ian been able to deprive Ethan of any opportunities? Are there people who are gonna be like, oh man, like he emailed this guy and this is a thing?
I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, there's definitely absolutely opportunities that I think they can't get because they're too toxic. Like, you know, if any article right now ever was to come out about you or to come out about Ethan, it would get flooded with comments that are negative. And that's directly because of like people like IDubbbz like kind of normalizing the shit, and Hassan, the two of them, absolutely. So like that is the harm. And I don't think you can deny that. Like tomorrow, any article anywhere about something that Ethan Klein was doing positively, even if it doesn't even mention Hassan or anything else, would be flooded with negative comments. If he got a new sponsor, they would get mass emailed saying that you shouldn't work with this guy. That's a fucking fact that I think is undeniable.
Sure,
And
but there's
these
different types
people-
of negativity that I think that sucks, but then some cross the line. Like if I got flooded with a whole bunch of things saying that I was like a pro-genocide, pro-whatever, like that's annoying because I would argue it mischaracterizes my political opinion. But that's a lot different than being flooded with a whole bunch of comments saying like you're a pedophile, you want to murder, or I'm sorry, you're a pedophile, you're a rapist,
sure.
you're a whatever. Like these are like a different kind. Same thing with if Ethan got a flood of comments calling him genocide or whatever, that's one thing. But like all the people pushing the child abuse Giardia stuff or whatever is like that's like crossing the line, I think.
Yeah, but that's all of it. That's what is the nuanced criticism of Ethan Klein? That's not just this
Not
insane
nuanced
shit
criticism.
that they do.
I think they're bad criticisms, but I think one is like so much more vile and personal, such that like if somebody was to start throwing down lawsuits against people who were claiming that they were engaged in child abuse, I'm fine with it. But throwing down lawsuits for big, substantial disagreements in political opinions, no matter how retarded the other side is, I feel like is not over the line on that. As annoying as it is.
Look, of all the lawsuits, I'm weakest in supporting of the one towards Noah Sampson. And, you know, what pushes me over the line is I just think that guy's, you know, tried to fuck with Ethan in every way, like not just there, but constantly leading efforts, etc. So I think that calling him a genocide supporter is fucking nuts because he's like.
But that's like,
the most
it's a perspective on.
Not really. No, he's the most cucked Jew that there is. They're like, what other Jew is more cucked than he is on Israel? Seriously, tell
I
me.
understand
Like,
it's a cuck perspective. I'm just saying that like
So it's just
genocide
bullshit and a
supporter
lie,
is such.
right?
It's bullshit, yeah. But it's like, is this
Okay,
like
then-
defamatory?
Yes, it's fucking defamatory to say that you're supporting a genocide. Are you fucking retarded?
I
Yes.
super disagree. I think that is squarely First Amendment protected. If you feel like I'm supporting a genocide because I'm supportive of the United States or Israel, I think you absolutely have the right to have that opinion and to say it. I like in matters of political disagreement, this is where our freedom of speech stuff is going to be at its literal apex, the strongest protections it could possibly be. Even if I agree that that's a fucking retarded opinion a million times over.
Oh wait, I know how we can do this. We'll get past Destiny to argue. Does genocide have a specific definition or not?
I mean, I would argue it does in an international law context, yeah.
Okay, so is well, two questions to ask here. Number one, is Israel committing a genocide right now?
I mean, I would say at this point, I don't think so. I haven't seen the evidence of that.
Okay, so if I said that someone was supporting a genocide, wouldn't that be factually incorrect?
Somebody is
And a
supporting
genocide.
Well,
A genocide is a crime.
Well, the incorrect
yeah?
part would be the opinion on whether or not somebody had committed a crime, right? Or on
Well,
whether the
genocide
country
is de facto a crime. That's an international defined crime.
Yeah, you're in such but international law. You're in such like a political speech world.
This is your world. This is you fought against the definition of what genocide is versus not.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying,
not
like, you
through
can't-
not through defamation lawsuits. Through
It's all
arguing.
the same.
It's
well,
not the
You were
same.
making. You were arguing the legal definition of what genocide is. And
Yes.
people were going after the semantic view.
Yeah, which I thought
of,
was
you know,
fucking
what people-
retarded. I think it's super stupid. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the problem is that you're now dealing with the law. Someone is suing someone because they are violating what the legal term of genocide is. And you're like, oh, well, I want to fall in semantics here. And it just doesn't work that way. If you're going to be in the legal scope of this, that's just going to be the case, right? Legal,
So
legal,
if I say
legal.
like I think OJ murdered his wife, do you think that somebody calls me or let's say that I say I don't think that OJ murdered his wife or something, and then somebody accuses me of being like fucking an OJ murder supporter or whatever. Should I be able to sue that person for having that perspective on me?
You have to be more specific.
So I'm
on
out here and
what
I'm
this
saying
is.
OJ did not kill. Is it Anna Nicole Simpson or am I making that up?
Is OJ still alive? Is he?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
If I say OJ did not murder his wife, he didn't, and then somebody's like, "Fucking Destiny over here, he's a fucking murder supporter." What's the name of the fucking? OJ is dead. He
Oh, he
died
died?
recently.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
way to go. But like, if somebody were to keep saying that about me,
No,
like
OJ.
Destiny's a murder supporter, he supports murder, and then it's like, well, factually, he was not found guilty of murder in a court of law, so I'm going to sue you for defamation.
I think in the case of OJ, it would be more complicated because then he was found, like, not to Pisco it, but like he was found guilty civilly. So there'd be more context and nuance to it. Look, as I said, the Noah Sampson thing is the weakest of them all.
Was
But
OJ
to say
civilly
that,
liable for murdering her?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
fucking
know
lost
that.
he lost the case. Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't remember that. I don't know. He might have. I just don't remember.
Yeah, won the criminal case, lost the civil case. To say that, like, well, in this world, it doesn't matter. Like, let's say that you did, who's someone that definitely murdered someone? The dude who killed the
David.
It doesn't matter.
Casey
Sure.
Anthony.
Yeah, the Casey Anthony. If you're like, I support this. It depends on what you mean by support. Like, I think these are questions for the judge. Materially supporting it with propaganda, with, hey, you should go support these people at their the GoFundMe page. I think that's a different type of support. Just saying, I support this action happening in the West and leaving it there, that's a different one. Saying that you support it, how do you support it? I think these are things that need to be fed out in the video. And that's probably what the case will be decided on. Like, is he making the case that Ethan Klein is directly supporting a genocide? I think first off, he's going to be kind of fucked, because I don't think that internationally they've said it's a genocide at this point, or that it's met it. So you're kind of in an awkward spot where you're saying something.
But yeah,
that
but
can't
internationally,
possibly be true.
I don't even know if there have been any genocides.
In the
like, I don't
US.
think there's been a single fucking one. But as per the ICJ's decisions, I think a few people were held responsible related to Bosnia, I think, in the ICC. But I don't know if any country was ever found in the.
Well, okay.
So I mean, so are we saying that?
The question is there a term of a genocide inside of the U.S. law? And that would be the first question to answer there. And if that's defined, then you would say, has this happened? And is this person supporting that action? And if both of those things are untrue, then it passes the litmus test of per se defamation, because it is there's the four things you can do. It's like having an STD, something that would make them look bad in their profession.
Per se would be like if you're accusing Ethan himself of like committing a genocide or something.
Well, no, because supporting a genocide would be a crime as well.
Well, it depends on what do we mean by support. If somebody is like a Zionist, wouldn't you argue that?
Well, that would be the thing that the court would have to determine under those.
Do I want a court argue? These are super ultra political opinions. Do I want a court sorting through these things?
Well, I mean, that's what they did for people who were secretaries of the Nazis. Yes, they did, right?
In civil court, for civil litigation? No, this was about criminal responsibility.
Sure, but they were still. Well, no, there was definitely civil stuff when it came to reclamation of property that was stolen from Jews and things like that during the Holocaust. Absolutely.
You can do reclamation and restitution as part of a criminal procedure. It doesn't have to be civil. Were there really Jewish people that were civilly suing?
There wasn't any civil liability after the Holocaust of Jews trying to get property back or things along those lines?
My guess is it was all handled either in some kind of criminal thing, the big Nuremberg tribunal stuff, or it was some massive like multilateral agreement or whatever would be my guess. I doubt there were Jews having to, or there was like a state process by which you could apply or something. I doubt that there were Jews that had to like sue individual Nazis to get their homes back. That'd be my guess.
I don't know. I think there is probably instances of it happening, and there's certainly instances of it happening in this century. Where like old Jews find out that their paintings are on a wall and they're suing to get it back, right? So that's definitely things that's happened multiple times in the last 50 years. Multiple stories have been like that in the New York Times, things along those of people. Oh, my family used to own this painting and the Nazi took it, and they don't go through criminal courts; they go through civil actions.
In Canada, you don't even have to prove falsity, malice, or special damages to win a defamation suit.
I guess Canada's crazy. I guess I would just put it this way. Like, I think it's defamation when people say to you, like, oh, you're a pedophile. Like, it's one of the very few, like, per se things for people to do.
I think if you want to say, I think Destiny's like a child fucker, I would agree with that. But if somebody wants to say that, like, oh, if Destiny thinks that a 16-year-old can be hot or whatever, or he thinks that blah, 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 they can look older, then I think that makes him a pedophile. I feel like, as disgusting as I think that comment is...
Well, but if that's couched, yes, but it's all about how it's done. So it's very different for me in passing to say, like, I'll give you an example of something that would cause me issues versus not. If I go make a post on Twitter right now, and I say, Hassan Piker shocks his dog, nothing Hassan can do. It's just GG for him. Like, it's game over there. However, if I release a YouTube video called "The Twitch Star Who Has a History of Prolific Animal Abuse," and then it's a video that seems to be a documentary with things taken out of context and everything else to make Hassan look as bad as possible, that would be passing the bar to the point where you could sue over something like that. Absolutely. And that's the difference of a statement said in passing without context that no reasonable person would assume to be serious. And again, remember, this is how Elon Musk got off. He's like, hey, people call people a pedo all the time. What do you want me to say? And he won. He won the civil case against the cave diver. Remember, right? It's about the substantiality of what you're doing, and that was kind of the problem for Noah, is that he said this person's supporting a genocide, and here's a 3-hour documentary proving that they're supporting a genocide. But obviously, that's the issue for them to debate in that case.
I when I think about the types of speech that I would want chilled, I think like actual actionable factual claims or whatever of like crimes, I think are good things to chill. But if somebody is thinking like, I feel like Destiny's a fucking genocide supporter or whatever, and you're like, fuck, but if I say that, he might sue me, so I don't know if I'm gonna get that. Like that, as much as, again, I might
That's not fair. I didn't just say that. He also did like a 3-hour video on that.
Sure, it does a 3-hour video on how, since Destiny supports Zionism and the Zionist project, and since he consistently seems to only air the grievances from the Israeli side, and he's constantly downplaying the Palestinian side, I think he's a genocide supporter, blah, blah, blah. Again, as much as I might disagree with the assertion, like, I think that's
I wouldn't want that chilled either.
Yeah, I think this is like the apex of, this is the strongest point of First Amendment protections, is like, you have a right to your political opinion about my political opinions, even if I think that they're grossly exaggerated, factually incorrect, or whatever. Like, this is just what I would expect. I would expect these protections to be operating at their strongest point here.
Well, yeah, because you could also make a video fighting back against it.
Sure, maybe not. Depends on how big the creators are. I just don't think that. I think that people should have a worry about blatantly lying about something. So, for instance, this would be a thing. If somebody were to say, I think Destiny wants Israel to commit a genocide and hide their crimes or whatever bullshit, I don't think you can sue. I think that it's disgusting. I think that's an opinion you can have. But for the people that were saying,
I think.
Sure, that's fine. Everything is I think when somebody says this thing. That's what that means. Okay.
No, that video wasn't I think. It was, these are the people that are doing this.
Yeah, as per your opinion, I think that this is the thing. I think doesn't hedge it at all.
Well, you're adding that on, but that wasn't the title, right? That wasn't what it was.
Everything is the thought of the person putting it out. That it's not a hedge to say Ethan is a pedophile.
Okay, so the
Ethan
New
is a
York
rapist. Let me
Times
say
can just come out and say Destiny is a pedophile, and then it's like, well, this is what the author thinks. No, of course not.
The titles are the same. If somebody posts an op-ed and they said Destiny's a pedophile, and then another op-ed said I think Destiny's a pedophile, it's effectively the same thing. It's the opinion of the author. If it's an op-ed.
No. If the New York Times put out an article calling you a pedophile, you would absolutely win a defamation case. And for you to think that you wouldn't is insane.
For pedophilia, maybe because there's a conflation in criminal law between pedophilia and child rape or whatever. So it's not necessarily the same as psychology using the term. So that it might be true as per pedophilia, just because a lot of people will synonymize pedophilia with
ebiophilia.
Shut the fuck up. What was the point? Oh, if somebody, so back to the genocide thing. If somebody says Destiny supports Israel hiding genocide or whatever, right? As stupid as I think it is, I think you're allowed to have that opinion without me suing you. But for the people that were saying things like, here is Destiny giving the IDF tips as he's coaching the IDF or whatever, that I think would be like a defamatory claim, because for ignoring any of the political opinions, this is not a speech I'm giving to the IDF. That's like just a factually incorrect. No part of that's like not a correct claim at all. So like, I think that in the weeds there, I think you could get into things. So the one thing that had me like 51% on the side of Ethan for the Noah Samsen thing was, I think I disagree meta or in the totality of it, but I think Noah Samsen went further with one or two things, and he made some like very specific claims that I think were almost certainly not true, like explicitly not true. And that was like, fuck, I guess not. But just like as per like political opinions being relegated in defamation court is super not. I think that's a very spicy subject for the United States.
Okay, this is a little bit interesting. So you think that it would be defamation for people to say this is Destiny teaching IDF soldiers how to hide their crimes, with the assumption that maybe there was one or two there, or everyone in Israel has to go through conscription. Okay, and there's so some of that could be up for debate. But the idea to say that someone is supporting a genocide when there's a legal definition of it, and you say it hasn't been met, wouldn't that by definition make the statement false?
No.
Okay. So you're saying...
I don't think anybody around the world views, unfortunately, at this point in time views genocide as like the strict legal defining thing or whatever.
Okay. Well, courts do.
What do you mean courts do?
Courts usually rely on the legal definition of terms.
When it comes to civil litigation, my guess is it's almost certainly going to be relying on common parlance or layman's terms for how most people are going to understand a thing, depending upon what element of the defamatory thing you're talking about.
I think I would disagree. I think that while courts try to keep up, like there's been cases where there's been contracts enforced because someone would send a thumbs up emoji, right? And it's like, okay, well, technically, is that agreeing to a contract or not? Like, courts are catching up to modern day language and things along those lines. But still, there is the case of like, they will look at like, what is the thing that's been said? Is the statement true or false? And that's really what the judge would have to get to in that circumstance. I think that's a realistic thing to assume that they would do. You would want them to do that for your case where they say, did Destiny tell IDF soldiers how to hide their crimes? Yes or no, right? And you would want the judge to do that. And on the other side, it'd be like, well, there's some fucking IDF soldiers here, and he's making a joke. So what? Yeah, this is a very fair thing to say. This definitely happened. And you would be like, well, I'm not really preaching. I'm just preaching to people. The fact that some of them might serve in the IDF is irrelevant here, and that would be something for the court to decide in that case. But it also goes the other way. If you're saying that like someone is doing a genocide, supporting a genocide, etc., you'd be like, but yeah, everyone uses that word that way. It's the same thing.
I disagree. If somebody were to say Destiny is telling the IDF how to hide their war crimes, and it is obvious. Well, maybe not if you're watching a 9-second clip, but I'm talking to a group of fans as the function of Israeli fans, not as the function of these are IDF soldiers. This is clearly and obviously not the case for this particular talk I'm giving. But if somebody were to sue, if I were to sue somebody because they were to say something like Destiny said that their claim is, here's Destiny teaching his fans how to hide war crimes, and then I were to sue them for defamation saying, actually, wearing outfits from people's homes that you've taken over, that's not actually a war crime, so you're wrong there. I don't think that would be a defamatory statement because war crimes, a lot of people think genocide is a war crime, not realizing that war crime is like a separate statute. Like I think war crimes is a very broadly used term, and I don't think there would be like a strict you have to adhere definitionally to it, otherwise you're engaged in defamatory behavior. So like if it was the case that putting on dresses is not a war crime, which I don't know if it is or isn't, but like if it wasn't, I don't think that would be a defamatory statement. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I can't argue with I don't think so.
Well, isn't that what we're arguing? Wait, where did you learn this? I feel like this is a thing that you just recently learned. Do I need to stop getting rid of I think? There's no difference between these statements.
Between what I think and what?
Dan is an asshole versus I think Dan is an asshole. These two statements are basically the same thing.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Wait, you're wrong.
All
you're
right.
100% wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong legally speaking.
Okay.
Whoa.
We can agree.
Yeah,
to
are
disagree.
you coping right now or no?
I think we can just agree to disagree. Do you think that I think is like the in Minecraft? So let's say that
I don't.
Ethan was to try to sue me for.
No, but
Steven said that I rape kids, and then I say, whoa, judge, whoa. Look at the full statement. I said I think Ethan rapes kids. Oh,
You're just
he's
so
got,
wrong here.
No, he's safe.
You're
He
so
said I
wrong
think
here.
beforehand.
No, you're just wrong here completely. Because one, by saying I think implies uncertainty, and it also does not describe that as something as a fact. It is what you believe to be true when you say that
I don't
think.
believe that I think it describes uncertainty. I think it frames it more from the first person perspective.
You're wrong.
Hold on. Okay. Wait, I think I can see your perspective. This is the difference between saying like I think versus I think. Is that where we're caught up on this?
I guess the best
because
way
if somebody were
would
to say like I think Dan murdered his cat versus like I think Dan murdered his cat.
No, that's not it.
So you think any defamatory statement, if you put I think in front of it, it becomes non-defamatory now?
Not necessarily, but I think that it becomes more defamatory without it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I think can have the understanding of not knowing. I think the world is flat is different than that's like it's different than the statement of the world is flat. I think that planes run on jet fuel.
I think the world is flat.
I think that planes run on gasoline.
I really don't think that there's a distinction between saying I think the world is flat versus the world is
You know
flat.
what? I think that Aetna has the cure for cancer and they're not releasing it.
Okay.
Aetna has the cure for cancer. They're not releasing it.
I would say it depends on how you say I think at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
why
at
there's a
that point the perspective and the context of the article is what matters. If there's like an authoritative article or like a textbook, putting I think is kind of weird. But if you're offering your perspective up as an individual, depending on the intonation, like if you say like Aetna has the cure for cancer versus I think Aetna has the cure for cancer, I think these are about these are pretty similar in terms of authoritativeness. Both of them
Well,
are
it
your
also depends
opinion.
on like what the article at the beginning. You might have just said this. What the beginning says, like, and how you get to there. Because if you end the article with, "That's I think Aetna has the cure for cancer," and that's how you end the article. Well, then that could just be like a definite statement.
Also, I think when you leave out the I think, the implication sometimes you might be quoting from another thing.
Or that you don't know.
It could be.
Oh, sorry,
that.
sorry. Yeah. Now, the thing to understand here is adding the words I think it's not like a crutch that gets you out of defamation at all. It's not. But if something is like subjective, I think Steven is a creep, or I think this restaurant is terrible, that's going to be like a protected opinion, I would think. Because there's not really a factual claim to be proven or not proven in that case, right? It's purely subjective. But I gotta feel like this is going to be a situation where if you're presenting facts in a 3-hour video, that leading with a statement means that you've come to this conclusion.
Yeah, but if you're building the argument towards it, how can you argue it's defamatory if this is legitimately the opinion by the end of his argument?
Well, are you arguing that if he said I think at the front of it, it would save him? Because I'm not sure I am even arguing that for you.
I don't think he even needs to put I think at the front for it to save him. It's a political.
I don't think that would do anything either. So I guess we can get off this. I don't really think that would do anything.
Okay,
You don't think it would do anything, or it wouldn't do anything?
good one.
What would he say? I think these are the YouTubers that are supporting a genocide.
We're back.
What's up, Mooten?
Well, you know, looking at Gracie Abrams on Twitter.
Wait, looking at what?
It's a singer, Dan. You wouldn't get it. Looking's free, Dan. You taught me that.
Yeah, smelling also
Smelling
free,
and
but-
looking.
And smelling is the biggest thing that you can do, by the way, when you're
Yes,
traveling.
that's true.
That is free real estate,
And
not
if you're
enough people
smelling
do it.
and looking, that can be
Oh.
powerful.
But the smells are the good things, because I'll tell you,
This-
the
yeah.
smell, that's free time travel for later. It really is,
Mhm,
and not
it
enough
is.
people do it. They don't. You're on a trip, take big whiffs constantly. I do it all the time. I'm smelling
Smell the
big
smells.
time,
Big
big
smells.
time. Yeah,
I think Dan's right.
Yeah.
Dan's right. You guys just had the it's not good, but it's not bad.
Wait, no, there's more.
argument.
No, it's better. And when Steve comes back, I'm gonna molest him. Because I just had Claude whip me up
Oh,
some good ass
God.
shit. Oh yeah, boy. Me and Claude. Jarvis is helping me out. The word I think has been classified as, do you know what it is classified as? Cautionary language.
Okay.
That the author is speculating or editorializing. Boom. I don't have a soundboard. I would do that sound effect that people do, the one where it goes. My prompt? Are there cases in defamation where adding "I think" before a statement would shelter someone from liability versus not having it? There's no point in using AI if you try to like give it the answer you want. It's just stupid because then you just look like a moron. Like you got to prompt it almost the opposite way. Like prompt it.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like prompt it like you want it to be the other way, and then hopefully you can get to the conclusion. If you're out for the if you're out for the knowledge.
97 pardoned January 6ers have already been returned to prison for new crimes. Nah. Where's Cafe? I'll drag him.
Wait, 96 what?
97 previously convicted January 6ers have returned to prison for new crimes.
Well, problem?
Problem? Dan said he was gonna molest you.
Gee, you think, or he did?
He did say.
I did say that. Was Kafka coming in? Because I'm ready to be
I don't see him.
schooled.
Oh boy.
If so.
Obama.
Obama.
Kafka, you're in.
Hold on, quick, Hassan Slop. If you're wondering why these serial defamers
good,
never
that's what I
got
came for.
sued by Ethan Klein, even though Epstein, not iDubbbz, is the one who initially claimed Ethan molested his children, doubled down, it's because Dan Stockman, the one who realizes he lied to thousands of advertisers to trigger an adpocalypse on Twitch.
Wait, pause.
What?
So there was an adpocalypse?
Has been a financial sponsor of Ethan Klein's podcast, Redact Dev, and they all support Israel and cyberstalk and harass its prominent critics online. Dan has openly fielded Congress people to try and deplatform me for my pro-Palestine advocacy. Of course, there was never a peep from the YouTube commentary community. They mostly supported it as terrorism support. I like how he's like recreating the whole weird snarker complex that he has on his side for the other side. Is this the new snarker's goal to push Ethan into a lawsuit with Destiny? That was their goal months ago. They've been trying to do this for a long time.
They failed.
Well, so far.
Wait, hold on. Let me see it. Dan Stockman. The one who realized he lied to thousands. Well, I guess there was an adpocalypse. Ooh, this is rough for Hassan. So was there an adpocalypse or not?
All right, what was Kafka gonna say?
Oh, I was just coming about the whole "I think" thing.
Yes.
Okay, Dan, just to confirm, you're talking about like an opinion defense for defamation?
Yes, I was looking at two cases: Allman versus Evans, and Partington versus Bugolowski.
I hate that you use Jarvis now. I hate it.
It's such a fucking cheat code. God, you get to molest motherfuckers.
Wait, does
yes,
that mean
and
when
it says
for the
that-
two court cases you just cited, you mean that this is what Jarvis pulled up for court cases that you're looking at?
Yes,
Okay.
Of course.
of course.
Okay.
Those who deny Jarvis's power will be those who are left behind in its dust. Basically, it said that by saying, in my opinion, the person got out of a defamation claim that would have otherwise sunk them.
Okay. So usually, whenever you're like, my very limited understanding, I don't practice this area, is that like, if you're saying "I think" that this person has done something, like I think this guy supports genocide. If you actually like disclose all of the facts of why you think that, okay, you're actually more protected there because you're saying, here's the things that, here are the facts that I'm looking to, and why I think that this person supports genocide.
Yeah, I think that's realistic.
right.
Fair. Yeah.
But if I just make a video and I just go, guys, I think this person supports genocide, And I don't give my factual reasons. I just kind of like just leave it hanging and imply that I have facts that would support it, but they're not disclosed publicly. Right, or things like that, or like, guys, I think that Ethan has sent money to support genocide. Right, those guys. That's where you're kind of getting into something where that opinion isn't going to protect you, because you're not disclosing the factual basis of it, and you're hoping that people will just rely on your opinion to form a negative opinion of this other person, not based on facts that you're disclosing, but based off of just your specific statement that you're making. So while I think
that's kind of like the Bill Gates thing,